Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope we're doing great today. Happy Saturday. We've got 7 matchups on this NBA slate today, guys. So be sure to like and subscribe. Check out all my betting links in the description below to get in on the action. Go ahead, turn on those notification bells. Yeah, we'll hop in it. Pretty good slate today here. Starting with the Chicago Bulls versus the Detroit Pistons. Bulls opening up as a 1-point road favorite with the over-under at 218. Both teams coming into this matchup 1-1. Head-to-head, the Bulls are 10-0, 8-2 covering the spread. I mean, they've been pretty dominant against Detroit here. The over just 2-8 in the last 10 head-to-head meetings. Chicago coming off a big Toronto win, 104-103. A big win for the Bulls. They desperately needed that win. And Detroit coming off a big Charlotte win yesterday, getting the double-digit win. Good win for Detroit. But yeah, Chicago 8-0 on the road against Detroit. I mean, they've been pretty just absolutely dominant against Detroit here. And I'm liking the Bulls on the road. Only a one. It's pretty much a pick 'em here. And both teams coming off a win though. But the fact that the Bulls have just been so dominant against the Pistons here, I think I'm gonna have to roll with the Bulls money line on the road. Next matchup, we got the Memphis Grizzlies versus the Washington Wizards. Grizzlies opening up as a 1.5-point road favorite with the over-under at 227. Grizzlies coming into this matchup 0-2. The Wizards 0-1. Head-to-head, Memphis is 7-3, 6-4 covering the spread. The overs hit in 3 out of the last 10 head-to-head games. Not seeing any crazy injuries here. None that we don't already know already. Memphis on a 2-game losing streak. Back-to-back games putting up 104 points. And yeah, they've really just haven't been able to get it done. They've had 2 close games already. It's been very close for them. But yeah, 2 close games for Memphis here. And, Wizards, I mean, they got beat by 23 in their opener against the Pacers here. Memphis is 6-2 against Washington, 8-4 covering against Washington. I think Memphis gets their first win here, and I'm just not impressed with what I saw from Washington in their opener. And yeah, I'm gonna take the Grizzlies minus 1.5 and money line on the road. Next matchup, we got the New York Knicks versus the New Orleans Pelicans. Pelicans opening up as a 3.5-point home favorite with the over-under at 225.5. Knicks coming into this matchup 1-1. The Pelicans 1-0. Head-to-head, pretty split down the middle. It's evenly matched 5-5 both ways. The overs hit in 7 out of the last 10 head-to-head meetings. Don't see any major injuries in this matchup. The Knicks coming off a 6-point Hawks win yesterday, and the Pelicans coming off their season opener win against Memphis. Pelicans 5-2 at home. Looked very good in their opener. Knicks looked good in their win yesterday. And yeah, like what I saw from the Pelicans here. Zion looked good. The team looked good. And catching the Knicks on a back-to-back and a good win for them yesterday. I think I'm going to take the Pelicans minus 3.5 and money line at home. Next matchup, we got the Indiana Pacers versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. Cavs opening up as a 3.5-point home favorite with the over-under at 223.5. Pacers coming into this matchup 1-0. Cavs 1-1. Head-to-head, the Cavs are 7-3, 6-4 covering the spread. The overs hit on 6 out of the last 10 head-to-head meetings. Tyrese Haliburton is questionable for the Pacers, so be sure to check his status here. It's still early to say, but Jared Allen and Garland were both out Friday. We'll see if they play today. I have no word on that, so do check that as well. Pacers coming off a big 23-point season opener win against Washington, but they looked very good. And then Cleveland Coming off a tough loss yesterday against OKC, a game they were up with a couple minutes left by like 10, and they really blew it. And for me, if Tyrese Haliburton plays, I like the Pacers plus the points on the road. You're catching Cavs on a back-to-back. Tough loss yesterday here. Pacers looked good in their opener. Haliburton plays, give me Pacers plus 3.5 on the road. Next matchup, we got the Philadelphia 76ers versus the Toronto Raptors. Sixers opening up as a 4.5 point road favorite with the over-under at 216. Sixers coming into this matchup 0-1. The Raptors 1-1. Head-to-head, the Sixers are 7-3. 6-4 covering the spread. The over's hit in 4 out of the last 10 head-to-head meetings. Philly, coming off that 1 point loss against the Bucks. Toronto coming off a 1 point loss against Chicago yesterday. Philly's 4-1 against Toronto, so they've been good head-to-head. They're 12-5-1 covering on the road. I mean, Philly, definitely a game they probably could have won against Milwaukee. If Lillard didn't really go off on them. Catching the Raptors on a back-to-back here. I'm liking the Sixers on the road. I mean, they look good in their opener. Maxey and Embiid look great. And I think they're the better team here. And I'm going to take Sixers minus 4.5 and money line on the road. Next matchup, we got the Miami Heat versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. Minnesota opening up as a 4.5 point home favorite with the over-under at 218.5. Heat coming into this matchup 1-1. Minnesota 0-1. Head-to-head, Minnesota is 8-2. 6-3-1 covering the spread. The over's hit in 8 out of the last 10 head-to-head meetings. I don't see any major injuries. Miami is coming off a back-to-back though. So we'll see if everyone's playing. Miami coming off a 8-point Boston loss yesterday. Minnesota coming off a 3-point loss against Toronto in their season opener. Miami currently 0-5 on the road against Minnesota. 2-8 against Minnesota. They really struggled against the Timberwolves here. And I think it's a good spot for Minnesota. You're catching Miami coming off a very tough loss against the Celtics yesterday, where the Stars put up some big minutes here. And I like Minnesota at home. I'm going to take Minnesota minus 4.5 and money line here. Then the last matchup, we've got the Utah Jazz versus the Phoenix Suns. Phoenix opening up as a 5.5 point home favorite with the over-under at 221.5. Both teams coming into this matchup 1-1. Head-to-head, Phoenix is 8-2, 6-4 covering the spread. The over's hit in 5 out of the last 10 head-to-head meetings. Bradley Beal and Booker are both questionable. Remember, Beal's been out the first 2 games. Booker missed last game, so that'll be definitely something to keep an eye on. Utah coming off a 2-point Clippers win last night. Big win for Utah. Phoenix coming off that 5-point Lakers loss. Look, Utah currently 9-0 covering on the road, which is pretty amazing. If Booker and Beal are both out, specifically Booker, if it's just KD playing, I like the Jazz. Jazz plus the points on the road here, just because this team is not very good without the stars. And KD had to do everything by himself, and they still lost. So if Booker returns, I like the Suns at home. If not, I'm going to take the Jazz on the road. That's going to be it for the video. Good luck with your picks and parlays on Saturday. Hope you guys all cash out, and I'll see you guys Sunday. Have a good one.